Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of 49 Faithfullee. We're your hosts, Miriah and Melissa. The 49ers just sent the Cowboys home crying in the divisional round and are moving on to see who's going to be the winner of the NFC. It's awesome. We'll be facing the Eagles next week. That's quite the challenge. But for right now, we're celebrating this win over the Cowbroads. Most of this fan base is the most hated team, so I'm sure there's a lot of happy faithful out there tonight. How you feeling, Melissa?
I'm relieved. I'm finally in my safe space.
Yeah, that's it, man. That was stressful. What's up, chat? JDLR, Christy, Tia. I see you. Hope you guys are doing well. How you guys feeling out there? Man, I felt like my blood pressure was at, I don't know, even know the blood pressure numbers, but whatever it is, the top of it, because man. And then when we gave it back to him at the end, I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Like that Elijah Mitchell running out of bounds when he should have stayed in there at the end that stopped the clock. I'm like, oh.
His feet went out like 3 yards before the end of that run anyway.
Yeah. But he needed to stay in bounds was the problem because he stopped the clock, and that's what gave him the ball back. That was the craziest play I've ever seen at the end. They lined up with like their guys all separated, just their slow ass old running back in the middle as the center. Like, I do want to say like prayers up to Pollard because we know that he went out at the I think the first or the second.
Second
with
half.
What they're saying, is a high ankle sprain. So yeah, like that was their most, been their most electrifying player pretty much this season, and he goes out, so you hate to see that. Luckily it wasn't a tear or, something worse. It was a high ankle sprain, and now he can have plenty of time to rest it while he's at home or in Cancun or wherever the hell they go. So.
Oh man.
Joel, what's up? Steve-O, Bryant, Eric, good to see you guys. I think I was trying to figure out the score prediction to see who won because it's a tough one because we all guessed way numbers away from the score. 19-12, like nobody guessed close to that. I think if I figured it out, there's going to be a tie, so I'll have to actually see and think about it in a little while when my brain's working. Then I'll let you guys know. JV.
Hi, John.
Hi, I'm coming. Hold on.
Okay.
I fucked myself up.
I'm just glad you have a device to still stream from. I was worried about you.
Oh my god, you guys! I had a wild day. I mean, it was just wild, completely unnecessary, but wild. I hope the scar was worth it. I really do. Because when I tell you what the fuck I did.
Uh-oh.
Oh my. Oh my. Fam. Hold on a minute. I'm all fucked up. Anywho. God damn it. This fat ass broke my chair. You really did. You really did. Okay. All right. So, anywho. So this is what I did, right? All right. So I get home and I'm rushing, right? I'm rushing from work. Mm-hmm. Get in the door. It's crazy snowing here, so closed up shop early because it was just not worth it. And I got this new badass knife, like this combat knife. I don't know what possessed me to buy it, but I just wanted it real bad, so I bought it. Right? Work with knives my entire life. So I got these chef pants, and I put the knife. It's in a sheath, right? Like a knife sheath. Mm-hmm. And it's plastic. It's like a polymer. It's like a really good knife. It's a Benchmade knife. Like it's a good knife. So I have that in my it's like a cargo pocket, but it's not a cargo pocket. It's just a pocket. So it's down there on the back, on the side of my thigh, right? And I got one leg out of my pants, one leg still in my pants, right? My left leg's out of my pants, my right leg's still in my pants. They tangled, and I'm like, damn it, like get the game on, right? And I go to pull the sheath and the knife out of my pocket, and I only pull out the knife, right? I only pull out the knife. So now I'm holding the knife in these fingers, right? Like this. And I'm going back down to my pocket to pull the sheath out because I need to put the knife back in the sheath to put on the counter. When I go back, so I'm holding the knife it's thin up the top. So I'm holding it in these fingers and I'm reaching down to grab the sheath with these fingers. And when I go back, I stab myself in the fucking thigh.
Oh my God. I'm
like, you son of a, like, Allison, fucking stab myself. She's like, what, are you bleeding? I'm like, no, but it's kind of deep. like, you know, and she's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And I'm like, nothing. I got to get the game on. It's like 6:47, and I'm like, I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, I'm watching on YouTube TV on my phone. Like, I'm delayed. Like, I'm losing my mind, fam. Like, losing my mind. So nonetheless, I stabbed myself in the fucking leg. Oh my God. It went through my chef pants, through my drawers and into my fucking leg. So this fucking scar better be worth it. Like, I swear to God.
And then you almost had a heart attack watching the game, so that didn't help.
Dude, heart attack, Miriah. Like, I'm not built for this shit. Like I am not built for this. These cardiac games, like, family, this isn't good for my health. Like, none of our health, right? Like, holy smokes. I got to tell you, like, that was a game, family. That was a game. And that was this team's, honest to God, true testament. Like, this was our greatest test out of every game, and Purdy came out of this game with immense pressure, no picks, zero picks. The young man he was showing a lot of resilience and a lot of nerves. And you know what? Like, you know, a lot of people are going to tear this team apart tomorrow, and they're going to ask if Brock Purdy is built for this NFC Championship game. And I'm telling you, like, if you can get out of that game, bro, my man, the next game and the game after that, you're prepared. Like, you've been prepared. You know, we have broke this down week after week after week, saying, like, Brock Purdy's got to show us X, Y, and Z. Fam, if he hasn't checked your boxes by now, I don't know what to tell you. He is by far prepared.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking when we were at halftime during this game, you know, how we talked about how we were feeling at halftime last game, and how I was like, well, I didn't feel worried because I knew that this team was, you know, this team's been up until that point, you know, a second half team. But this week going into halftime, I felt completely different. Like, I felt sick to my stomach. Like, I couldn't eat all freaking day. And I was thinking, oh, I'll eat when halftime comes, you know, once it's settled down a little. No, like, I felt so sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat. And then the second half, I didn't feel any better throughout the entire thing. Like, that crazy catch by Kittle, kind of like, you know, that one-handed bobble off the helmet, you know, catch, like, kind of went on to, like, spark a little something on offense. But up until that point, like, man, like, I know their defense is a hell of a defense, but our offensive line looked terrible. Like, they couldn't block for the run game up until that point. They couldn't block in the passing game. You know, it's just like, what the hell is going on? Like, their deep line was eating them up. Did you see those, you know, those pictures going around? McGlinchey's like Superman in it out there, flying through the freaking air. Like, you're 200 plus pounds. There's no reason you should be this way in the air, like all the way up the ground. You know, like
I don't expect anything less from this fucking guy, though. I don't. I really don't. You're gonna go airborne, bro, because you know what? If a DB could take your ass down, what's stopping Parsons from rocking you, bro? He folded you up like a lawn chair and threw you on the ground, bro. It's like incredible. I don't know. I guess that just makes me a little bit more confident Purdy even yet, right? The right side, complete dog shit. And the kid still managed to stay upright for the most part. He still kept his eyes downfield. Like, I don't know. I think I had more of my eyes. I was more locked in on Brock Purdy than anything else outside of that right side of the line. What's up, Izzy?
Hi,
Tell me what you really feel. Tell me you're very, listen, you know what? You've been very chill lately. And I don't know if the dog's asleep beside you right now or in front of you or on top of you or wherever the hell he is.
I let my crazy go earlier. My piece of shit brother tried to tell me he was in good mood for Dallas. That would be a traitor move to do. And then he comes up and he goes, I didn't watch any of this game, but how is it under 15 points? And he starts rambling all this bullshit and saying the whole time and trashing Brock Purdy because he heard the one clip of him after the Seahawks game where he said, our goal is to make it to the Super Bowl or whatever. And he says, this little piece of shit motherfucker, third round nothing, shouldn't even be talking about the Super Bowl and all this other stuff. And he's been like an insane, crazy person ever since that happened, right? So he stays there the entire time during the second half, right? And he's just like ripping Brock Purdy for every like missed ball or miscue or this or that, and how he can't keep getting touchdowns or whatever, and how he shouldn't celebrate the touchdown by Christian McCaffrey because this team's carrying him and blah blah blah. It's just like I went like super crazy person. Like I almost lost my voice screaming at him to get the fuck out of the room, or I was gonna punch him in the face. Like, I told Miriah before she went live, like I may actually have to risk getting COVID a second time because I will be charged with murder if I stay at home and watch this game anywhere near my brother. He's such a cretin.
Just go in there. Just go everywhere near him and lick everything in sight. Lick the wall, lick the door. Just be like, motherfucker, I would get sick. Just a
okay. I do. Okay, so granted, today he had a little cause to be an asshole, but you know, like I try to get myself in the mood for these games, right? Because I get like really nervous day of. Especially after I had to sit through my dad's horrible game yesterday, and so I was watching Talanoa Hufanga have the touchdown in Green Bay, right? And I had no idea that my brother was back from walking the dogs, and he goes, "Well, this is what you deserve for watching that one clip." I'm like, I watched one freaking clip before my goddamn game, and that excuse you for being like an absolute troll because the Packers don't make the playoffs for the first time in like forever. Like, come on. Like, he was doing the same shit during the Giants-Eagles game by saying, oh, this team's so trash, they don't even deserve to be in the playoffs.
Izzy, I always tell you, take it with pleasure, my friend, because your team keeps rolling on week after week, and his dirt team is sitting on the couch with every other shitty team.
The best part was, though, John, they kept replaying the Diamador Lenore play at halftime. And my brother had to actually shut up because he goes, who's that Demo guy you were shouting about? What is he doing? Ripping off his nickname from Debo? I'm like, no, I call him Demo because that's short for Diamador. And he's like, oh, crap. I had a little bit today.
What part of this game? Okay, outside of the offensive line, the right side, we know, we'll say this verbatim all week, right? We're going to say this. We're going to say this ad nauseum, how bad it was. So let's talk about the one distinctive problem that we saw from everyone today on defense. What was the big problem that you saw that just stood out and made you cringe?
If I had to choose one thing from the defense,
it was everyone. I mean, it was spread out amongst them all. So they're all guilty of it, just in various positions.
My number one thing is they weren't wrapping up the tackle. There's too much broken tackles.
Bingo! That's the fucking answer.
Actually, I had a different answer. My answer
they were getting
is
an extra 10 yards every fucking play because they weren't tackling nobody.
My answer was that they were sitting behind the line to gain and waiting for the guy to cross the line to gain and then deciding to go move up and tackle.
But we've been doing that.
That was the one that was pissing me off.
That's something that we let them, we give them everything in front of us. And then, you know, it's awesome when you do that and you can get them off the field afterwards. Like you can hold them to those plays, like you can let them get there, so to speak. But when they convert on third down, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like that entire idea goes out the window. But wrapping up today was entirely a gigantic problem. And I mean, really right there at the end in the end zone where Armstead does this bitch move where he does not wrap up on, like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? He was gift wrapped in your lap.
Mm-hmm.
Smash him into the ground and get the safety so we can go home. What are you doing, bro? Huff. This kid, he's growing, and some of his mistakes are so goddamn consistent. It drives me nuts. When he times it just right and gets right on Dak and does like, what are you doing? Are you putting a halo on his head? What the fuck are you doing? Grab this man and slam him on his head.
Like he's so scared to do that because then you get a fucking penalty. So he's trying to like,
right.
And then other times he tried to wrap up and you saw him like go ahead and yank his head out of the way. And then he misses the fucking tackle. You know, it's like,
Allison
they're so
said the
scared
same
to fucking hit.
But you know what I wanted him to do? Bear hug him. Stand upright and bear hug him. Hold him and be like, I got you. Just hold him tight. Squeeze him with like an endearing wrap-up hug and let him do absolutely nothing. Just hold him.
Because that could probably run. He could probably run with Hufanga around his waist. Hufanga's little.
Oh, man.
No, but I agree with you, John. But I agree with you, John. Like, I felt like he was just trying to like shove Dak onto his ass by like just shoving him on his shoulders. And then he just backed off because I think they've been bitten way too much with that stupid unnecessary roughness on the passer call, especially with Nick Bosa and the blitzing and taking away pick sixes and everything. Like,
that's fair. That's fair, because I'll tell you what, that rule right now, it's disrupting the play. It's disrupting defensive play. It's disrupting the pass rush. And
I think
you're trying to do your job, and you've got that lingering like.
And I also think that they haven't gotten over Dre Greenlaw getting ejected for simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time and having Justin Herbert rolled into him. Even though he moved his head away, they still ejected him and had New York call in and not like even the 15-yard penalty, but then eject him. And that was like his first penalty of the whole game. So I just feel like this defense is playing scared, and I wish they would stop playing scared.
Yeah, fair. They got away with a lot tonight, family. They got away with a lot. You know, those flags, they come out. But they didn't come out for San Francisco. Look, I don't want to bitch and cry and moan about this, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's so much that happened after the whistle that pissed me off, like excessive shit. At one point, you're fucking holding Debo, or you're holding George Kittle under his armpits, and one of you motherfuckers has got him by the leg, and you're holding him like a basket carry.
John, I had like flashbacks to Debo, like almost getting his entire knee and ankle pulled out of his socket.
I saw it. I saw it today.
That's what I'm saying. When they rolled up and pulled Kittle's leg up in the air, my dad's like, no, they have to do that because George is a big guy and they have to get him down. I'm like, you were there with me last week. You saw what they did to Debo.
I will say
it's
this
crazy.
though. I will say this, okay? And I may be wrong, but I expected a far more like dirty game from Dallas today. Now there was some bullshit. But it wasn't like the dirty that I expected, because I had fears that they were going to be like real fucking dirty. I don't know.
They tried.
It was they were, but it was not like they played great defense today, Izzy. Dallas gave us the best defensive test. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, but that's the bar.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like that's the bar right there.
I agree with you, but Miriah brought it up earlier. She brought up the bobble catch that he had that kept that drive alive. And even my father, who hates the Niners to the day he will probably die, the only reason he was there to support me was because he hates the Cowboys that much more, and I begged him to. He goes, I don't know how the hell he dodged Trayvon Diggs trying to go for him, because you saw Trayvon Diggs not only like lead down with his shoulder and his head, but he was like out to like kill Kittle. I'm like, this is what he's learned to do, because he has to deal with Budda Baker all the time, who's blown out his knee twice. Like George Kittle has like 8 eyes in the back of his head to keep alert of whoever the hell is around him, because he's gotten hit so many times going up for Jimmy's hospital balls or ground balls and trying to save drives from Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, it's astounding to me the way that these guys can hunt and go for these things, and like nobody will ever talk about it outside of us, who will keep it real.
McNiner, I see what you're saying. The Eagles defense should put up a fight too. I think they will. But I mean, you know what? I would much rather go up against this defense first and get a great taste of what Brock Purdy was essentially missing from the majority of our opponents. You feel me? Like this was a great run. Mm-hmm. You know, the game stakes get bigger, but the defense doesn't get much better, if that makes any sense, right?
Yep.
Did I word it right?
Yep. What's up, Ty? What's up, everybody that's joined?
Ty, I know. I questioned you, Ty. I did, brother. I did. I questioned you, my man, and I apologize, bro. But I'm so happy that you're right, and I was not. I'm happy that you were right, my man. Give credit where credit's due. Ty kept me in the loop yesterday. He kept me like together.
John, I might get my actual dream scenario if we can pull off this Philly game. I've been calling for the last 2 years, and you know I've been saying it on the locker room rant. Niners Cincy, and I'm dying for this Super Bowl. I am dying for it so badly.
I mean, let's step away from the Niners game for a few seconds, and let's talk about that really fucking poor display of performance from Buffalo. I mean, Tony was not surprised, and I'm going to tell you this right now. You know, Tony is the only fan, right? Now he was dressed in Niners gear tonight. I just want you guys both to know this. Like, he was totally in spirit, and like he was loving this game. He was dressed in Niners gear. But he told me, he's like, Tony is the one fan who, if he truly sees deficiencies, he has absolutely no problem telling you and everyone else, my team will lose because of A, B, and C. My team will lose because of this, that, and the other. He said to us over and over again, November, October, we're that squad. Yeah. Once the weather kicks in, we don't play like a team that gets a fuck ton of snow. We come into town like we're in Florida, and like we're from Florida, and we're playing in snow for the first time. They played so light on their feet. Today, Buffalo showed me that they were trying not to give up the big play, by slipping and falling on their sorry asses. And they played very conservative, very light on their feet, and they gave up every play. I mean, they were losing the trenches. They were just God-forsaken awful today. And the Bengals played like they had 6-foot spikes on their shoes dug in, right?
Yep.
They just played like we're an Ohio team and we get snow and we're not afraid of the fucking snow.
What's that, Denise?
I enjoyed
Get out of that wedding.
I enjoyed that immensely because my entire house was rooting for the Buffalo Bills and I was rooting for Cincinnati.
It's crazy. I was so disappointed by their display, but it is what it is. Like, show us you belong.
On a side note, does anyone know if Poyer and Tre'Davious White were okay? Because I saw them both walk into the tunnel.
I saw it too. I don't know, man. And at this point, you know what? Does it even fucking matter? Like, play fucking harder. Play fucking harder. If you're banged up, I'm sorry, and I wish you all the best, but you guys didn't play hard. This game here, these two defenses right here, they went fucking hard for 4 fucking quarters of football from the first whistle to the end. Like, they played hard hitting, bust you in your mouth football. And I mean, that is exactly what it takes. So if you don't play like this, you do not belong in the postseason. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
I'm sending it right now.
Today, guys, speaking of snow, I went to work today and like 1 mile from my home, I'm on this busy road and my car, well, it was this woman, and she really fucking pissed me off. She pulls out of her driveway on a very busy road and she very slowly accelerates like she's driving, like she's a train conductor. She's just slowly, so I have to like touch the brake a little bit because it's like a 50 mile an hour road, right? So like I'm doing like 45-ish, and I have to apply the brake just a bit because there's probably about 7 car lengths between her and I, and my car just starts to slide from the right lane into the left lane, into the right lane, and I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel, my man, because I'm about to hit somebody. Like, I'm freaking out. But it was crazy. Like I what's up, girl? Look at you all done up.
Hey, Denise, looking beautiful.
Hi, thank you. We were the horrible. Let me tell you really quick how funny this is. So I'm at a table at the wedding, and there's 2 49er fans and 1 Dallas Cowboy fan, and like so. They introduced the couple, and so we let all that go on. And then after that, they're like, okay, they're going to bring the food out, blah, blah, blah. All 3 of us had our phones on, and we were like listening to the game. We were the sports table. Like, we all had our phones up and like listening to it. It was so funny. It was so funny. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I thought that was funny.
That's hilarious.
Right? Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, we're horrible people. We're at a wedding and we're like watching the flipping football game. I'm like,
those people that got married are horrible people for getting married on the things on. That's the horrible people.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
All right, let me draw this winner for this George Kittle card. Good luck, everybody. 34.
Damn it!
So Denise, how much of the game did you get?
John, look.
Nice, Izzy. Nice.
One thing that kept me sane today.
Honestly, I did not get to watch a lot of the game. Like so the wedding was earlier, so we missed like pretty much all of the Bengals game. And then, so the wedding was on one side of the town. The reception was on the other side of town. Oh, actually, honestly, closer to our house. So we came home, we turned the 49ers game on, and like I watched like them kick it off and watch like the first like 5 minutes of it, if that. And like, so when we left the house, the score was 0-0. So I was like, okay, great, whatever. So we left, and then I didn't really like turn it on until it was tied, I think, like at 9-9, I think is when like I turned it on. It was like tied up at like, I couldn't believe how low scoring it was. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, okay, either we're playing really crappy defense or like Purdy is like finally showing his rookiness. Like I mean, I don't really have much to say as far as like analyzing the game, because I can honestly say I didn't like watch it. So like I caught bits and pieces of it here and here. So I was like, okay. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be 100 with all you guys. Like, I don't know if we can beat the Eagles. I'm being 100. Like, I watched the Eagles game, dude. They're stellar right now. Like, they are firing on all cylinders, dude. All cylinders. I watched that Eagles game and I was like, ho, 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 woo. I'm like, I don't know.
But again, they're playing a team. It's like this though, Denise. They're playing the Giants, who came out flat and garbage. They did not belong in that game. So if you go back and watch this game,
I get that, John, but they're playing really well, even though they were playing against a team that they, like, I agree with you. Like, I agree with you as far as like the Giants aren't all that, but yeah. Let me put it to you like this: if we play like we played tonight, we're getting our asses whooped. That's what I think. And I'm a diehard 49er fan, but I'm a realist.
Can I chime in here real quick as someone who's had to watch all three of those horrible blowouts?
No.
So I'm not one for stats.
Quick, Melissa won, by the way. Congrats.
Oh, well, there you go. Congrats, Melissa.
So I'm not one for stats normally, but my dad has been pointing this out for like the last 36 hours, going even before the game. I think he tuned it a little bit differently after the first half, but either way. So the stat is, including yesterday, 64-7 is the blowout percentage of all three games combined in the first halves between Philly and the Giants. And the only person who really showed up yesterday who didn't get blocked because he's just not seen as a threat by the Philadelphia Eagles was Matt Breida, who's the only one who got a touchdown yesterday. So, like, the Giants have been, like, exceeding expectations because they have such great coaching from Wink Martindale and Brian Daboll, who kind of, like, made them look like they were better than they actually are. But this team was never meant to get into, like, the championship round or anything. So, I know that Philly is a threat, but at the same time, I feel like they're the Rams from, like, 2-3 years ago, who got, like, really cocky because Nick Sirianni, when he was up, like, 27-0, was waving his fingers on the sideline trying to call for 2 points. And he was getting, like, pissed off when people started questioning him and, like, the refs were, like, calling him out for it. Like, this is how cocky they've been. So, it's not impossible, but it's definitely going to be a real big test, especially the way Brock struggled today.
That's all I'm saying. Like, trust me, guys. I want the 49ers to win. I want to win number 6. Like, of course, I'm like, I hope we stomp their ass into the ground. Like, let's call a spade a spade. But 2 things the Eagles have. The Eagles have a stellar defense. Like literally, we stack up really well against them. And what do the Eagles have that the 49ers struggle with more? I know John's going to say every team struggles with this, but they have a running quarterback. And we always struggle with a mobile quarterback. And, like, I mean, we struggle with a running quarterback. And not only can he run, but he can throw darts all over the field, too. And for all you Trey Lance haters,
here it comes.
I've been arguing with all you mofos on Twitter because y'all talking shit about my boy Trey. And y'all ready to trade his ass off. Well, you know what? I don't know what any of you saw today, but from what I saw, Brock Purdy is not the next Joe Montana. So all you guys need to calm the fuck down. Thank you very much for playing. Come again.
Hey, Carl, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry, I just had to say that because I swear to God, like, don't get me wrong. I hope Purdy balls out. I hope he helps us get number 6 and all that. But I am sorry, Trey Lance deserves to compete for his job next offseason. And if he does not get that chance, I am going to be pissed off. And I am going to be pissed off at our coach, Kyle Shanahan, who I praise and love probably more than any other 49er fan.
I fainted.
I think
Oh.
I think he's gonna get it. I think he'll get a chance. I don't think you have to worry about that. Don't listen to Silver. He's a dirtbag and he's never fucking right.
Just tell him he's a dirtbag so he blocks you and you never have to worry about another thing he has to say again.
I tell him he's a
Oh,
dirtbag.
really? Is that all I have to do? Oh, I will absolutely go to Twitter and cuss him out.
Because
so
he
can
blocks
block
everybody,
me.
so.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He sold his soul to the
officiating. Will block.
He
me.
sold his
NFL
soul to the devil.
officiating Will block me.
He sold his soul to the devil when he teamed up with Colin Cowherd to not only bury Trey Lance, but then constantly reinforce everything Colin Cowherd came up with in his magical crockpot mind as the gospel spoken truth that all the people in the Niner organization felt however they felt about Trey Lance the negative, because Colin Cowherd has an axe to grind against Trey Lance. So I lost all respect for Mike Silver.
Oh, Colin Cowherd's just pissed off because Trey Lance.
We know,
Denise.
We did not have to go there.
Trey Lance got dirty with his daughter, so he's all upset. He's like, "Oh, you got dirty with my daughter. I can't have that."
Denise, were you sipping a little at the wedding?
No, not at all. I had one drink. Shit, that's it.
Denise thinks we don't know about Trey Lance getting frisky with the daughter. I don't know. I think Philly's going to be tough, but I think the Cowboys' defense is better than Philly's. So, and
Really?
that's why we struggled. We struggled with defense's front seven. I mean, with the Cowboys' front seven. Our offensive line couldn't stop them worth of shit. So I wouldn't necessarily place all this blame on Purdy when he had 0.5 seconds to throw the fucking ball. The
That's
running
true,
game
man.
couldn't get going till the end of the freaking third quarter because the offensive line couldn't block for the run game, couldn't block for the freaking pass game. They couldn't block for shit. So it's a little hard for CMC to be able to work. It's a little hard for Purdy to be able to work when nobody's fucking blocking anything.
No, like I said, I have to go back and watch the game. I did, like I said, I caught bits and pieces of the game, so I did not watch the whole game. Like I caught a piece here, a piece there, a piece there, a piece there. Like I was at a wedding, so I definitely did not watch the game.
Bebop says the daughter's a hoe.
Oh, is she? Well, there you go.
It don't matter. It don't matter who is screwing her because she's a hoe.
Okay, well there you go. Maybe that's why Colin was pissed off because he realized his daughter was a hoe.
Yeah.
Mike, can you pull Carl's comment up real quick? I want to touch on that real quick. Okay, so I also had an issue with that because they kept running Christian McCaffrey to the right side of our offensive line, and they weren't protecting really well. And it felt like we were kept tempting fate for over 40 minutes of that game, trying to run it up the middle. And it pissed me off because I am so scared the way that we injure our players trying to run up the middle and prove that we can run up the middle. So many of those drives could have ended so much better if we could just throw it to the sideline or run it outside or use what we used to use in 2019, which was either Joe Staley or Trent Williams out there with George Kittle and two other blockers. I don't understand why Kyle can't just get the hell away from the inside run zone thing that he's been doing lately. It's driving me absolutely crazy.
I don't know. You guys, you want to take a crack at it first, Miriah?
Mariah's like, no.
I think we're trying to attack those gaps, Izzy. I think we're just trying to establish the gaps and hit them. You know what I mean? Like that outside run zone scheme that we just I've laid it to rest. I mean, we lost Mostert, and with him, that ability
that's when
to
I
get
said
that
bye to
outside
it.
edge. It's just that's when I once I realized it, even with McCaffrey, guy's fast, but he's more unique than Mostert, right? Mostert was just known for speed, right? And occasionally he gets, even in Miami, I see him get out there and he tight ropes that outside, boundary. But to be honest with you, the sooner we accept the fact that Mostert was why that worked, he just he could bend and get to the outside. The thing is, we just don't take that run to the boundary. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We try to cut. If you watch Mostert, he runs so far wide and he's fast enough to get to that edge that he tight ropes the boundary, and that's what made him so unique. They just couldn't get there fast enough, and he was already rounding out that run. It's just he just did it best. And the sooner that I accepted it, the sooner I came to terms with, look, when Elijah's healthy, he's going to run through you. And today he did it. He did it again and again. And we wore them down. We wore them down. Now, does A.J. Brown scare me to death? Always. Always will. That dude will always be a problem. But if Greenlaw smacks Jalen Hurts in the mouth one time, he's going to think about running. He better release the ball. The thing about Jalen Hurts is that, yes, he's mobile, but today this team was tested. So essentially, look at this, Denise. When you go back and watch this game, you're going to see two defenses smacking one another in the mouth. Just boom, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a better opportunity to make those adjustments from this game to the NFC Championship game. When they go back and watch the tape, you see that's the beauty of winning this game, right? We get to go back to the lab, watch this entire game all over again, and just focus on that right side of the line because they were just dog shit. Okay.
So was it Mike McGlinchey? Was he the problem? Yeah.
Yes.
One of the main problems.
Although,
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, though? Christian McCaffrey's running touchdown. McGlinchey had 2 huge blocks. I don't know what's with him when it's like defending only like 5 to 10 yards, but McGlinchey shows up then, and he just doesn't show up anywhere else on the field.
Well, everyone says that he's a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. Like everybody says, like that's where he's the weakest is like when you're going to pass block. Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was looking for, pass protection. Thank you, John. Yes. But yeah, that's where everyone says that like it's not really his run blocking that's the problem. It's his pass blocking that he just like he gets bowled over. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I have to go back and watch the game. That's my problem is I saw bits and pieces of it here and there, but I need to go back and watch the whole thing so I can actually have a fair assessment.
For the amount of pressure, Denise, that Purdy was put under today, he did not throw a pick. He did not throw an INT.
Well, I did see one play that he almost did throw a pick. I almost had a stroke.
Diggs had it right in his fucking hands and dropped it.
I was like, ugh. And that's when I turned the TV. That's when I turned my phone on. I was like, ugh. I'm like, okay, just turned it back off. I was like, shit, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think that was tipped. I think it was tipped.
It was definitely tipped.
Anthony Barr tipped it with his hand and his shoulder, and then it went right by Ayuk, who was, I think, supposed to get the ball, and luckily it went right through Trayvon Diggs' hands.
It went through Bar and went to Diggs, and he dropped it through the dropped it. So,
and Miriah will appreciate this. It was so funny because my husband was like, okay, he's like, if you're good, because I had an earpiece in my ear and my hair's down, so like, you know, obviously you couldn't tell. So I had an earpiece, but I had my phone really low. My husband's like, hey, if you're gonna listen to the game, he's like, just make sure if anything happens, you don't like scream out like, what the hell?
In the middle of the wedding, like you have Tourette's.
That would be me. I could not go to a wedding.
Oh my God, Miriah, that's exactly what my husband said. He's like, so like something would happen, Miriah, and I was like this. Something would happen, and I was like biting my finger. I'm all, and he's like, something just happened, and I was all, because I was like, I couldn't yell. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Oh my God.
They're doing their first dance, and Denise is there like, fucking bitch.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Things you do.
No, my husband was literally worried that I was gonna yell out like, catch the fucking ball.
My God, I could not be at a wedding. You're very brave.
I couldn't.
I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. I would have
My
the
husband was like
in my lap.
My husband was like, Denise, he's like, babe, I love you, but I swear to God, if you yell out, he's like, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, you better not. And I'm like, oh God, it was so funny. Oh, it was hysterical, by the way. Anyways.
That's funny. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I got yelled at for a week in my wife up.
Mariah. She's like, I'm at home and I got in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's texting me. I'm awake. I'm like, oh.
You're like, I'm sorry. You're like, I'm sorry. Me too. Me too. Oh my God, that's awesome. You're like, me too, babe. Me too. It's cool. Oh God, that's awesome. Oh,
let's do a giveaway. So go ahead and enter your numbers 1 through 100. Let's show Fred Warner some love and do a Fred Warner giveaway.
I'm going to pick 55. I love Fred, so I'm going to play.
Denise is taking 55 people.
Izzy, you always put 38, and immediately after I have it flipped. I mean, always.
Bashar, you got to re-guess.
Oh, gosh. That's so funny.
Denise, do you want to laugh real quick before we get into our next point?
Sure.
Let me tell you what I did, okay? This is
I
crazy.
said it first before your number came through, so.
This is the craziest thing I might have done in a long time.
Okay.
So I get home. I'm in a rush. Super excited to get home. I'm ready to get this game going.
Yeah.
And I bought this tactical combat knife. And I don't know why I did it, but I bought it. And it comes in this this sheath, like a plastic sheath. And I want to show you guys this thing. But it was like in my chef pants in the cargo pocket, which is not really a cargo pocket, but it's a pocket in my pants. So I have it tucked down there, right? And it's in my right pant leg. So I'm in the kitchen. I'm like just throwing my shit on the counter. I'm trying to shed my clothes. I want to get into my gear and just go nuts, right?
Yeah.
So I got my left leg out of my pants. Right leg is still in my pants. I go to pull the whole knife and sheath out of my pants pocket, but I just end up pulling the blade out. Okay. So now with the blade in hand, I'm holding it between my fingers and my pinky, and I'm going back down to grab the sheath out of my pocket, and I fucking stab myself in the thigh, in the side of my leg. I stick the fucking thing right in the side. It goes through my pants into my leg, and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, Allison, I fucking stabbed myself in the leg, and I'm screaming. I'm like, she's like, oh my God, are you bleeding? And I'm like, no, but fucking stab myself.
That's what I was gonna say. Were you like bleeding? Like, oh my gosh.
Like I'm just I have one my fucking head is like focused on this game. I'm like, give me something to wipe it. I need a band-aid. She gets me like a bandage. I put it on. We just sit down and like I look at her and I'm like, this gouge in my leg better be fucking worth it. Better be worth it. Like if I have a scar, it better be worth it. So
John's like, if I just stab myself and we lose this fucking game, he's like, I'll beat someone's ass.
It was a good.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh no, I believe you, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's so funny because John's like, if we lose and I stab myself, he's like, oh, this shit's on.
I work with knives for a fucking living. You understand? Like sharp knives are a part of my every single day. And what do I do? Funny. I stick myself in the leg. Where chefs don't cut themselves, they don't stick themselves. Like you just right in the leg.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, it is what it is. So.
Oh my god, that is funny. That is so funny.
It is what it is.
You do realize I'm gonna have nightmares about this, right?
What?
It's good.
John will be running around.
I'm gonna like have absolute freaking nightmares about this because I don't remember how many podcasts I had to avoid watching at night because you talked about having to shoot yourself in the foot or chopping off your goddamn pinky or what some other fucking psycho thing. Those were would you rathers. And now that you actually stabbed yourself, I am gonna have nightmares again.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
It's actually hilarious looking back. It's super funny right now because I've got this, hole in my leg for no apparent reason other than the fact that like I am in a hurry to get these fucking work clothes off and get to my TV. And I should have just like, oh shit, like the whole thing didn't come out. So let me put this on the counter and I'll just grab the rest of it and
and you know what's funny, John? All in a hurry just to watch the game too. Like all in a hurry, you know what I mean? Just to watch the game.
I'm so amped up at this point. It's like 6:47. I'm yelling like I feel like I just got out of the huddle, right? Like I'm yelling.
Oh my god.
It's not even it's more the fact that like we got to cover this hole up so I can watch the game. Like this thing is exposed. We got to clean it up.
He's like, hey, get me a Band-Aid, babe. Like, give me a Band-Aid. Let's cover the hole up. I got to sit down and watch the game.
It is just a flesh wound, man. We're good to go.
Oh my god, that's odd. Thank God you didn't have to go to the hospital. Could you imagine? He'd be like, oh hell no, babe, just wrap that shit up. He's like, we'll watch the game. I'll go to the hospital when it's over.
I assure you this. If I stuck that thing all the way into my leg, that is where it stays until this game ends. You understand? I'm not going. Our healthcare system over here is a shit show. So they'll have me there till tomorrow afternoon. So no. It's game,
John,
and we'll deal with this later.
God. I'm literally picturing John sitting on the couch with a knife sticking out of his leg, like with it wrapped, with gauze and shit, like wrapped it up, just make sure he's not bleeding to death. Oh my god!
Still, out of frustration and crazy nerves and cardiac games like that, I would have pulled it out twice and put it back in. Like just out of nerves, I just like, god damn it!
Oh my god!
Wait, doesn't Nick live right around the corner from you, and he's a nurse? Yeah. Like, couldn't he have given you stitches if absolutely need be?
No, I'd rather bleed out than let him touch me. Are you kidding me?
He's a nurse.
Yeah, Nick's a trauma nurse. He's an ER nurse. Yeah,
oh my god!
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
But I just wouldn't let him touch me.
Wow.
My luck, he would cost me, everything.
Oh my god, that is so. I can't picture him being a trauma nurse. That's hysterical. Yeah. That's funny.
How they talk about it on almost every other show that he's a floating trauma nurse that goes from hospital to hospital.
I never heard.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, it's hysterical. And John, I'd rather bleed out. Oh my God. Whew,
Oh,
that's
man.
funny shit right there. That is funny shit right there. Good times.
Yeah,
good
can we
times.
just have a moment of celebration right now for the fact that Deandre Lenore had another pick today?
I know. How awesome
So
is that?
happy for him.
I'm so
I'm
happy
so,
for
so
him
happy
too,
for
because
him.
people were talking shit about him. Poor guy.
Look at this thing.
Oh,
See this? Look at this
Oh
thing.
gosh,
that's
I
what
wish
was
he had to go
sticking
get
in
the
your
knife.
leg?
Yes, dude.
Wow.
The brand is Benchmade, and for anybody that knows about Benchmade, like they're just
Oh my God.
they pride themselves on two things: their warranty and their sharp fucking metal.
You know what, John? I bet you if I asked my husband about that, my husband likes knives, so I bet you he knows who that is.
He knows exactly what it is. Trust me, and he will say
Yeah.
to you, "Your friend is a moron." Look at this. You see this, baby, right here? I promised myself that this would not be touched until we made it to the NFC Championship game. And do you know what beautiful soul sent this to me?
Mama
Miss
Deb.
Debbie.
You're damn right. The matriarch herself, Mama Deb.
That's awesome.
Matriarch of this fan base. This is what she sent.
Yeah, she is. She's awesome.
She is. Miss Deb, if you're out there,
We love
I
you.
love you. This is, I'm
Yeah,
going to
we
take a
do.
shot for you and Niner.
That's awesome. That's phenomenal. Yeah, Miss Deb's the best.
I haven't opened mine yet.
Oh, I'm doing it. I don't care. I said, you know what? Fuck it. After the day.
Well,
I've
you
had,
did stab yourself tonight, so you honestly deserve a drink. If there was ever a time, John, you deserved a drink, it's tonight.
It's tonight. And
Yo,
with you
I'm
guys,
glad.
no better crew.
I'm so glad there's no rum in my house, because if there was rum, I'd probably like spike all the coffee in the world and just drown myself in alcohol right now. Side effects be damned.
Salute.
Yeah, well, Miriah was over here thinking I was hammered. I'm like, I've only had one drink. I'm like, no, I'm not hammered. I'm like, shit, I'm good.
Steve-O said pour some on your leg.
Wash that wound out.
Steve-O. That's a damn good idea.
Oh, that's funny. Wash that wound out.
Yeah.
Shout out to
So
Robbie
good to
Gold
see you, man.
for scoring 13 of our freaking points today.
Yeah, thank God for
You know
him.
what time it is? Mariah, do you know what time it is in the UK right now for Carl to be joining us?
What
It's
time?
got to be like 3:30, 4 o'clock a.m.
Are you serious?
It's
Yeah.
Oh my
definitely late.
gosh.
They're like, what,
definitely
6 to 8 hours ahead of us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
I don't know, they're
insanity.
like-
Yeah, I didn't even think
like
about
a
it.
calendar year in advance. They're like in the future.
Calendar year in advance. Oh my God, that's a calendar year in advance. That was a good one. Oh shit.
Yeah, because I think one of the last late games that we had, Paul was in here and he was saying like it was some time in the morning, you know, like 4 in the morning or whatever the hell it was. I'm like, what the hell? It's only 8
Carl,
o'clock.
this is for you, brother. Thanks for joining us, my man. Salute.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
Love you, Carl.
Yeah. Wow, Carl. Way to show up. Holy shit. 4 a.m. Damn.
So did you already
he's
sleep,
a
Carl, or
he's
you
a
still have to go
Patriots
to
fan
sleep?
too. So he's just out to
Oh, no,
deal with
I
us
know
crazy ass
Carl's
Niner fans.
Yeah, it's like I know Carl's a Patriots fan. God bless him. That's why I said, way to fucking show up, man. 4 a.m. Denise ain't never been up at 4 a.m. not unless someone died or I had to go pick some drunk ass up or something. Something major had to happen for Denise to be up at 4 a.m.
49ers Drive says, shout out to Robbie for talking shit to the Cowboys after he hit his first few kicks. And even when that was even before the game even started, they were talking shit to the Cowboys kicker for trying to practice on the field. Robbie and Trent Williams and all them were out there talking shit to him.
No, Miriah, did you hear why? Because I saw that before I left. That was something I did catch before I left. So Debo was out there doing drills, like he was out there running his drills, and Maher went out there and was like right where Debo was doing his drills, was like, went out there and started kicking, like right where Debo was doing his drills. And so they're like, basically Debo was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, basically, get the fuck out. Like, he didn't say that, but that's what he was thinking, you know? So I guess they exchanged some words or whatever. And then they like tried to get up on Debo, like, you know, tried to talk shit to Debo, some of the Cowboy players. And then big old Trent walked up and he was like, hey, what up, you know, and like got in their faces. And then the coaches came over and they like, you know, pushed on Trent, and Trent was like, hey, like, you know, like, nuh-uh, man, like, and I told my husband even before we left, I said, let me get this straight. Like, we're at home and Devo's out there running his drills and you just decide to go and like right where he's working out, like start kicking. Like, is your head up your ass? Do you need plexiglass installed in your stomach so you can see out while your head's up your ass? Like, what's the problem?
Maybe
like,
that's why I missed all those kicks. It was headed up his ass. And then for the first freaking kick that he has for it to get blocked, I'm like, oh, this poor guy.
Oh,
like, man.
It would have been wide.
That's what I'm saying. He would have missed it anyways. So that's crazy.
Yeah. He's got.
But you know what I thought? Go ahead, Melissa. No. Go ahead, Melissa. Go ahead.
I was just saying that he had the yips because everyone keeps forgetting, but he had a missed field goal. Extra point in the Commanders game, right? So when it rolled into like the 4 in the Cowboys game, that was 5 in a row. Then he makes the one at the end of the game. So that means that he like missed like 7 out of 8 extra points. But he made both field goals tonight. It's like, it's crazy the way these kickers get in their heads.
What I was going to say is what I thought was funny is I told my husband, this just blew me away, is that when the Eagles won yesterday, excuse me, when the Eagles won yesterday, Skip Bayless went on Twitter and said, oh, Eagles, good game, but I can't wait for you to face my Cowboys. You're gonna get to face my Cowboys at full strength. So get ready to get your butt kicked, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you haven't even played the 49ers yet. What the hell are you talking about? Like, seriously? Like, you're over here talking shit to the Eagle fans and you haven't even won yet. Like, are you losing your mind or what's going on? And then I thought it was funny that Micah Parsons kept talking shit on Twitter. I'm like, are you guys just trying to give us bulletin board material or like what's going on? Like, don't you know you should be respectful at least until you play? Like, what?
Parsons he's a dog though, man. Parsons is
no. I think Parsons a great player, but I just thought it was funny that they were all talking smack.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
35's the number.
Oh shit! Did Melissa win again? Holy shit! Melissa, I'm gonna start stealing 38 from you. I'm gonna be like 38.
Number.
Right? Melissa's like 38.
She did.
I've stayed.
Oh my God!
Lenore dream.
I'm looking through the numbers and she is the victor here, man, for sure.
Yep.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Okay, but to be fair, Miriah, you're my witness. That is the first time I've ever won back-to-back giveaways. Yeah. I've never won back-to-back giveaways before. Ever.
Melissa's over here doing the dance from the Hitch movie. She's all, yeah, making the pizza. She
just adopted this really chill, like Izzy has adopted this very calm, like, I don't know what it is. Like, she's super chill. She doesn't yell. She's not rolling over, yelling and repositioning herself and getting wild and like holding her head. And she's just very like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know.
That's okay. I danced for you, Izzy. I was like, Izzy's like, woo, making the pizza. Just 1, 2. That's right. I got it.
Imagine.
No, I'm telling you, Sean.
Right up into the fan.
My brother.
No, it's too high. I'm too short.
My brother exhausted the shit out of me earlier. Like, fighting him is so exhausting. Because you know what it really is? It's like you screaming at a freaking percussion like a wall, and it's just like it comes back at you harder every time you yell at it. you're never going to talk sense into it. You never get it to have like any kind of sense or sympathy or like kindness. It keeps hitting you back and pissing you off, even though you know that's the only thing it wants to do, and you still can't help it because it just pisses you off so much.
Glad I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, you better
No,
than me.
you don't.
I would not have the patience for that shit.
Me either.
I don't know how you deal with Nico, so I'd rather take my damn brother, who I can laugh in his face that he's not in the playoffs, and deal with Nick all the time with this nonsense about Jimmy's balls.
I've been dealing with
Say
Nick
what?
since I was.
I
since
leave
was
for
a
1
kid.
second and I come back and you guys are talking about balls. Pause.
I've been dealing with Nick. Tony and I have been dealing with Nick for an entire lifetime.
And supposedly I'm the crazy person on the show. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm like, I leave for 1 second and you guys start talking about balls. I'm like, yeah, no.
No, they were saying
What
they couldn't
have
put
you
up
guys been drinking? That's the question.
they were both saying they couldn't put up with me in how I have to deal with my brother, and I'm saying like I couldn't put up with Nick all the time. Like I like literally, even when the one time like John brought me on, like I literally covered my face because I can't even like look at him doing the stupid banjo thing anymore. Like I seriously will go like certifiably insane and find some like magical way to go through a fucking internet connection and go out there and punch him across the face. It's so gross. And he moves the camera down to his stupid junk and slides the chair up too. It's just, oh, it's so gross.
He does it because he's like, Izzy, this is for you.
He probably does.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
All right. Are we ready to get out of here? I'm tired.
yeah, I'm good.
I need to eat finally. After having
You know
starved
what's funny,
myself all day.
Mariah? They served food and I barely ate because my stomach was so jacked up because it was like the last score I saw was 9-9 and I was like, oh shit.
That's what I
Like,
can eat too.
I'm
Normally
like,
I
I'm
try to
telling
eat at halftime, but there was no way.
I'm telling you, dude, like, I don't know how people do it when they're like, oh, yeah, I eat. I'm like, not me, dude. I'm like, and I even sat there at the table. I'm like, oh, God, thank God I didn't eat because I'm like, I'd probably be barfing right now if I ate because, whew, I'm like, this game is nail biter, giving me a heart attack. But Mariah, so you're going to have to talk me off the ledge probably during the Eagles game because you said the Dallas defense is better than the Eagles. So
I think.
I'm gonna have to look
they're
up.
ranked better too.
Are they? I was gonna say I'm gonna have to look up the stats.
The only thing the Eagles defense is really, really good at, like probably superior to anybody else in the entire league, is actually taking those contested catches or those brain fart plays and actually catching the ball and making something out of those big turnovers. They have like an insane turnover ratio and making
That's what I
every
was gonna
single
say.
turnover matter.
Aren't they number one in takeaways, or am I wrong?
Yeah, they have Darius Slay, they have CJ Gardner-Johnson, who I think is back. They have James Bradbury, who picked off his former team yesterday. They're scary in that secondary.
That's what I think. If I remember correctly, I think they're number one in takeaways, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I read, but I could be wrong.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right, people.
Yo, the chat was fire tonight. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for
Yes,
rocking out with us.
We do appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thanks for
We
sending me
love
the
you,
link and
Tia
letting me
and
join you
Bebop.
guys.
Always
Yes,
appreciate you.
JV, appreciate you guys. Denise, thank you for joining.
Thank you, guys.
Chat, thank you
Likewise.
as always. Me and TL
See
will
you
be
soon,
back
family.
sometime this week, so we'll see you
John
then.
B, I hope you heal up.
I'm good, but it's just it's crazy, right? Like it's just I
What's
you know
the
what? I
name-
love
what's-
it now because we won. I love it because we won because now I have a scar.
Yeah. What's the name of that knife again? I want to ask my husband.
Benchmade.
Benchmade. I'm going to ask him. Benchmade.
49ers 5, I'm glad you found us as well. Thank you.
Me too, Jive. I appreciate you. I know what it feels like, man, to hide from the kids and try to temper your emotions and language. And I apologize in advance for mine. I'm a very emotional, crazy human being. So, but I mean,
Hey,
it comes from a good place.
Imagine being at a wedding and trying to temper yourself.
I would have broken the centerpieces. I would have been eating cookies and yelling. Like, I would have been bananas. Like, there's no way I could do it. Okay, like I saw a tweet. I saw a tweet on the timeline that said, "I'm wearing the red jersey. What are you wearing?" And I was like, "I'm wearing a shitty shirt," because I pull at it and like I like grab it by the neck and I like God, like I just like how many times have you changed positions? Like I was upside down at one point. Later, family. I'll see you guys.
We're out of here.
All right. Peace out.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.